Today, we visit the beautiful town of Naranjito in the central region of Puerto Rico. It's a small town south of Toa Alta, north of Barranquitas and Comerío, east of Corozal, and west of Bayamón. Naranjito was founded on December 4th, 1824. The name Naranjito can be confusing, depending on who you ask. In Spain, the word for orange is naranja, both for the color and for the fruit. The same is true in many Latin American countries. However, in Puerto Rico, we call them chinas, china in the singular sense. The word naranja is reserved for a sour orange that's mostly used as a marinade or meat rub. Well, as it turns out, those small sour orange trees grow abundantly in Naranjito, and tradition has it that the town derives its name from those trees. So I guess you could say that from the very beginning, the town has been connected in one way or another with food. But there's another thing that has been drawing attention to Naranjito lately, and not necessarily in a positive way. It has to do with a cable-stayed bridge, or Puente Atirantado, that cost around $31 million to build in 2004, and now, just 20 years later, the people of Puerto Rico have to fork out an additional $25 million just to have it repaired. And as if that weren't bad enough, it's the main way in and out of town, which makes for terrible congestion at peak traffic hours. And guess what? No one's to blame. But hey, this is a tourist video, so let's just talk about the Catholic Church, the town square, City Hall, the Fine Arts Center, the beautiful Las Lágrimas waterfall, and of course, La Ruta Gastronómica, a 10-mile stretch of Road PR 152 where you'll find every type of Puerto Rican and international food. All that and more as we explore the beautiful town of Naranjito, Puerto Rico. Most of my videos start by telling you how easy it is to get to a place, but not Naranjito. And that's what has Naranjiteños up in arms. In the beginning, the Puente Atirantado was the town's pride and joy. It was a singular architectural feat in the high mountains of Puerto Rico. People would drive to Naranjito from all corners of the island just to see Puerto Rico's only cable-stayed bridge. El Puente Atirantado de Naranjito, they call it. But then, the cracks and bumps started to show. Literally. One after the other, the construction faults started to rear their ugly heads until the structure had to be closed to traffic on January 30th, 2023. The original work was so sloppy that they even found cardboard where concrete should be. So why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem because Naranjito is a dormitory town. That means that most Naranjiteños work in the San Juan Metroplex, and the bridge is the shortest way to get there. To ease the tension just a little bit, pardon the pun, the contractors are working on one side of the bridge at a time. The other is open to San Juan-bound traffic in the morning and Naranjito-bound traffic in the afternoon. That means that if you want to visit Naranjito as a tourist, you'll have to take one of the alternate routes that are way longer. And that's exactly what we did. My wife and I left the San Juan Metroplex at 6 in the morning. If you're visiting Naranjito from Isla Verde, Condado, or Old San Juan, your best bet will be through the Minillas Tunnel. Then follow Road 18 until you reach the intersection with Road 22. Follow Road 22 until you reach exit 22B going south. Take Road 165 going south until you reach exit 14. Take Road number 2 and on the second light, make a left turn onto Road 165 again. Follow it until you reach a roundabout. Get off on the first exit and follow the road until you get to the intersection with Road 164. At that point, turn left towards Naranjito and follow the road until you reach the intersection with Road 152. Turn left and you'll see the exit towards town on your right-hand side. If all these instructions seem hard to follow, it's because they are. And this is just one way to get to Naranjito. The rest are just as convoluted, maybe even more. So your best bet is to punch the coordinates on screen into your GPS and follow it. As you enter town, you'll see a small park on your left-hand side honoring the Puerto Rican Troubadour. Kind of reminds me of Comerío. So what can I say about the town itself? Well, Naranjito is all about food. Of course, there's a nice Catholic temple in the middle of town, City Hall, a nice town square, and even a performing arts center. But they're all modern structures. As for the town itself, it's small, well kept, and full of old people. And believe me, I'm not trying to be mean. After all, I'm 69. But I'd venture to say that Naranjito is like a microcosm of present-day Puerto Rico. Young people are leaving in droves, and the average age of the population is steadily increasing. This promotes an environment of inactivity, inertia, and passivity. It's like time has come to a grinding halt. One thing that did catch my eye, however, was the itinerating exhibits that are available on the second level of the Performing Arts Center. At the time of our visit, there were two. One was by Naranjiteño painter Waldemar Andino Rodriguez. I'm no art expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I found his work mesmerizing. The other was a collection of sculptures by Naranjito's own Miguel Charries. Our host Maria Maldonado led us through the entire exhibit and provided us with printed information about Naranjito and its famous Ruta Gastronómica. So what is La Ruta Gastronómica? It's a 10-mile-long stretch of Road 152 that's peppered with dozens of restaurants on both sides catering to every imaginable culinary taste. It's also where the original chinchorro was invented. And what is chinchorro, you might ask? It's what many Puerto Ricans like to do on Saturdays and Sundays. Think of it like tapa crawling in Madrid, but with a car. Friends and family hop into their vehicles and visit different restaurants sampling different cuisines along the way. And of course, cold beer and adult beverages are also in order. And where does that word chinchorro come from anyway? Well, in Puerto Rican Spanish, a chinchorro is a small hangout where food and beverages are served. In their original state, they're usually rough and primitive, the chinchorros that is. But as time has gone by, many of them have evolved into full-blown restaurants. And that's what happened at La Ruta Gastronómica. And believe me, it's hard to find a table on weekends. Oh, and here's a tip. As you start your ascent on Road 152, there's a restaurant on your right-hand side called Las Cataratas. Right next to it, there's a small observation deck on the south side. Look straight down and you'll enjoy one of the nicest waterfalls in the area. It's called Las Lágrimas, which in Spanish means the tears. Leaving Naranjito was another odyssey. Thankfully, it was before noon, so we managed to go over the bridge. But before we did, I went to an observation deck from which you supposedly could get striking pictures of El Puente Atirantado. After all, the architecture of the bridge is imposing, even if the actual construction was a tragedy. Well, guess what? The observation deck was also a mess. It was covered in graffiti, there was garbage everywhere, and the vegetation was so overgrown that you could hardly see the bridge. Thankfully, there was a restaurant called Campo Viejo, about a quarter of a mile south, with a great deck of their own. From there, I was able to shoot both pictures and video. And just so you know, the place was very nice, and I hear that the food is also excellent. And with a view like that, you can't go wrong. It was almost 12 p.m. and we had to cross the bridge before they switched the traffic back towards Naranjito. When we crossed, I noticed that there were just a couple of people working there. That same afternoon, I heard on the news that the people of Naranjito had the same complaint because repairs are barely crawling along. So what can I say? Do I recommend Naranjito? Maybe. After all, there are restaurants galore. And if you're in one of those moods where you're not in a hurry and you just want good food, great drinks, great views, and an overall great time, then go for it. I'm not even going to try to tell you how to get back to San Juan though. Just make sure to have your hotel coordinates, punch them into your GPS, and enjoy the ride back to the San Juan Metroplex. And talking about San Juan, if you're planning to visit the old city, save yourself the hassle of traditional city tours. They're expensive and you'll be herded along with people that won't necessarily share your interests. Instead, order the Old San Juan walking tour. It's packed with useful information about all the main attractions, as well as every GPS coordinate and 2 hours of exclusive online video. That way, you'll be able to visit before you visit and hit the ground running when you arrive in the old city. See you next time.